Hello and welcome, part number 2 in the advanced trading strategy. And in this game, using coins GRS, XEM, BTC, and the US dollar, starting in the spring of 2016, going to, well, just a few days ago, and going to within historical prices and just seeing how well we can do within the game. Before we go into the next trade, let's understand where it stands within the portfolio. The debt value of these currencies is about $100, and that means you're about even against the dollar. And even though the Bitcoin says it's negative 0016, it's actually worse than that because it says that your US dollar is worth negative 18.8. Well, we started with 2/9 of a Bitcoin, and the sum of this numbers in here, which is the BTC, XCM, and GRS, well, that would be about, the 5 plus 4 plus 8 represents 17, and then adding these numbers, you're over 0.18 Bitcoin. But you started with 0.22. So you'd be down about 17 or so percent at this time against the cryptos. That's going to happen when markets go down. Let's move on. So we traded last at a ratio of 76, and we have this in here to indicate where our next trade is. So I think I should put 076 in here, and then we can see it's a 61 or 95. It goes to 95. So there's 85, 80. And both coins are going down at this stage because we can see it's at 240 and 280, 326, 369. Is it down enough where you want to add some of your Bitcoin to it? I'd have to say no, it's not. 66, not low enough. 72. Well, there we have 0.6, which means when we have 369 down to 348, that's only a differential of like 19 points or close to 6%. But the other market's down 280 to 208, down 74 basis points, or well over, or noticeably over 20%. So we can sell about 20% of the amount. Again, this is a minimum trade, given that it's around that 25% number that we are focusing on. And so of the XEM, how many do I want to sell? Well, I got 14,520, so 20% of that's 2,800. And we are coming off of trades where it was 37. So it's going to be a significantly smaller trade than the previous time. And for significantly less Bitcoin. And that's just how it is, especially with 348 being lower. But with 208 on the downside, we can maybe get close to what the last number was, a little more than 44. And we'll do 46.50. And we'll continue on. Let's change this in here. So looking for 48 or 7.5. There's 38. This one went up to 249, and this one just sold at 649. That's a very good move. That's going from 38 to 60. 60 minus 38 is 22. So therefore, we can see 22 divided by 38 is an increase of 58%. 58 divided by 158 means we don't want to sell more than 37. Okay, let's figure this out. What would 30% be? That would be about 3,300, would even be a little less even, 34. That seems like the number I'll go with. So we'll go in here, put in minus 3,400. And amongst that, we can see the price is more than double difference So well more than 68, even more than 74, more than 86, okay, 88 something. And there we have it. That trade is in. So in going to the portfolio, we're up to 58.80 and a nice little gain so far. So as we can see, the GRS is worth 0.11, 0.05 for NEM, and that's what's going to happen in this game. You're going to notice that one coin at times is going to be worth significantly more than the other when you're switching them back and forth. But when you get to the stages of selling your GRS off for them, that's going to fix that problem. And instead of having about the same at worth 0.08, or having with these numbers, they can be worth about 5-6 times more. And these numbers in tune would be also that as well. But 11 plus 5 is 16, plus 4 is 20, and maybe a 0.21, so close to even there. But you're up $58, or 58% against the dollar. Okay, so let's delete this math here and put in 0.38 here and move to the next trade. So 30 or 48. There's 26, which qualifies. And it's more selling of XEM. I mean, look at the move up to 1160. Now, you don't own many of these coins, the XEM. So to me, it seems pointless to sell it against Bitcoin. And that's because it's up too much and you just don't want to buy the other coin with it, which at 306, that's not too expensive. So let's make the trade. And what kind of move is it? Again, we have a move going from 26 to 38. So 12 divided by 26, 46% move, which is basically almost 33, so 0.31 something. No more than 30%, but you know what? I think I could do the exact 30% number. I want to sell as aggressive as possible without selling out, so I'll just do exactly that because it's just been going down so much, so it's time to go big. But I don't never want to take the chance that it's going to go lower and I'm going to run out of good ammunition to sell later on, which would happen if I sold a good majority. So therefore, 30% of 8,300 is, well, 832 is 10%. So we're looking at about 2,500. So let's put in 25. And that works out more than it was before at the 28 compared to 22. Now this price is a little higher, but only a little. This is more than 3 times higher in price. So let's see if I can get around the same price. A bit more. I'll take that. So 9,400 I accumulate for the cost of 1,150. Now just for fun, I can see in here, and I just do a sum of this. I have accumulated in 5820, which is losing from here. So I'm actually got 14,000 less. I've only ever once sold the GRS in this game so far. It's going to, of course, be lots of trades, and there will be many of its share. And there we have it. So what's it worth? Well, we can see that I have managed to accumulate 53,000 of these for, I want to do an equal sum of this. For 18% of a Bitcoin, which means I can copy and paste this in here. Let's just make it so you can read the number. course, it's got all the zeros on there. Uh, which it shouldn't, because it's not supposed to have any decimals. I'm going to get rid of this soon, but it has meant I actually wanted to do this one. So here we have managed to accumulate 5,820M, and they're all for free technically, because we have got more accumulation on the buying and selling. 5,367, well, what I can do is I can take this number divided by the amount that I would own, and what this will tell me is what my average entry is at this price. Current price we can see is 306. And I'm going to multiply this by 100,000 to get this off the Satoshi number. 123, 123. I push 100, then 3 zeros twice. Okay, it's in the negative number, but 343. So I'm actually in for a little more than what the cost is. But in comparison to, again, that it's free coins on the other side. So you'd pretty much be even in trade. Okay, so I spend an extra time there, but different things like that are just good to see, I think, as a trader. And let's continue on. Let me make sure that these are written in. They are. And let's check out the wallet before moving on. And move back to the game. Okay, last trade at 0.26. And 21 or 33. That's the next target. 19. We've seen this coin go up further to 17. And the other coin barely go up to 335. It's a little bit better of a gain, with 2 basis points better than it was before. So 20% is maybe a hair better, like 22, 23%. And that would be 580 is 10, so maybe 1,200. And you can see how, you're selling a lot significantly less than you were before. And maybe one you might want to do is just say, okay, well, 1,200, that's all fine and dandy, but it is up pretty good, and maybe you want to do a little bit more, because as the ratios go continuous in one direction, that's when playing aggressive plays into such isn't that bad of a decision. And you can see you're not getting as good of a return doing just that. So if I put like 16 to 1,800 in play, then what would we be seeing in here? See, now I'm getting a 0.031 number. This is the biggest trade that I've done so far, not counting open, is a 0.03. This price is 4 times about higher from the open. So selling a bit more, you know what, so be it. So then, how many of these at 335 can we get? Well, what was the ratio? That may probably the easiest way to figure, over 5 to 1. So maybe 10,000. No, but 96. 95. Close enough. So 9,300 to 18. Okay, now let's take a look at the wallet. Up to a positive 100 with Bitcoin prices at 630. The net Bitcoin numbers basically a little over 0.3 now, 3.1, 3.2. So you're up about 50% against Bitcoin. You're up about 100% against the dollar. Let's continue on. And we'll just copy and paste this here. And again, I don't want to sell this too much against Bitcoin because I've already sold a lot of it. But if it keeps going up and it's got a good worth to it right now, it's got 0.06. I mean, it's really difficult when I know my GRS is 0.21 just to even want to sell some of it, so it makes it very difficult. for me to add a Bitcoin trade within it. If a situation warrants itself, well, then that'll have to be done. So back to the game, and let's make the trade of whatever the next one is. And let's put in 0.19 down here. Let's go below 15 or above 24. That's close, at 23. And what got us there, the other coin is up about 33 basis points, the other one's down 120. But I'd like to see a bit better up. Nope, back down. 20, 25. Okay, so what got us to this kind of number? We have a move up to 372, a move down to 1492. So finally, we're going to have a crossover ratio trade. And what we'll do to do that is come in here and put in the levels. So I want to get as much XCM as possible at this stage. So I'm going to sell pretty much close to what it was before. Make limited profits on GRS early on like this, 8,900. And then let's see what this would bring back. Especially because I barely sold with only 1,800 in here. See here, if I can get over 24, which I won't. 23, 2,200. It's got to be better than that. Yeah. Or close, but we'll go 2,205. And therefore a gain of 400 and a gain of, well, 400 again. So gain of 400 on each coin for that particular trade-off. As we go to the wallet now, there we have it. So let's move on now to the next trade. And let's put a quarter in here. And let's see where we go. So it's either 20 or 31 break. That's close. There's a break, 32. We have seen this coin fall from 1492 down to 1197, but it was up so much. It was at 1981 here. And this one has risen a little bit. So, okay, that's why the ratio is moving in that faction, and we can make yet another trade against the ratio, and we'll of course be selling this GRS to buy the XEM, and we'd be basically getting this buyback in place. So let's do that. So of the 2,500 that I lost, I'm going to short buy this. I'm going to be satisfied with just a small gain. Go 2,600. Just because the ratio still is small, and I did accumulate a GRS hopefully for some more aggressive sells. And I obviously short traded the last one, only doing 400 of it before. So that means of the 9,400, how many of them am I going to have to distribute? Let me just see what 7,500 does. 3,120 on Bitcoin is the target. Okay, I need to distribute more, 8,000. A bit more than that, 81. That's 31. That's pretty much close enough. And there we have it. So that was a gain of 1,300 GRS from this trade to this trade, and a gain of 100 of the XEM. Wallet now has a gain at 122 on the bankroll. Bitcoin price is at 674. If we look at this Bitcoin number, this is negative 14. So we'll just add this to this. So it's plus 32 plus 33. So our Bitcoin numbers are up 50%. And we're up about 120% against the dollar. Okay, 0.32 is last trade. And last game I lost control of the ratio, and because I'm going to be stick with this number, I'm going to force myself to play it no matter what. Although I'll still try to do the combination of two together, and I think I know it does work out that way. Okay, so we're looking for 26 or 40. I want to break. I'm not going to match the number. It has to be 41 or higher, or 25 and lower. And there we have it, 47. And it went from 37 to 47 in one day. That's like over 20%, 10 basis points on 37. All right then. So, what made this move happen? Well, 386, 1197, 1191, and 555. So, the XEM didn't change. And we have a move of 15 basis points on 32. That's 30 or so percent. So you can sell about a quarter, I would think. A quarter of 4,500 would be about 11, 12,000. So we'll go 11,500 as a good venture trade. It's an aggressive one, but it's an aggressive move. And how much are we going to be able to get back here? Well, it's the same prices as before. Last time 3120 got us on 26. Now we're doing better than double that, so 5,300 should be close. And it's a bit more, I guess. There we have it. So we have 11,500 GRS out. 5330 XEM going in. 170 is the value now against the dollar. Well, the prices remain around 664. 0.4 against Bitcoin, so close to doubling there as well. And let's move on. We're on day 81. There's 1,000 of these, and I'm on part 2 of this video. But if I do this fast, it's going to be easy to miss things. I'm still going to be missing things because I'm still not going too slow. 38 or 59 is the cross. And it's just a waiting game. That's why in the game that I made with the black screen, I'm like, just push the go-to price because it's just tedious, really, just going through it. Because in real life, you're going to see these days, and you're like, yeah, okay, ratio's not changing. Yeah, markets are down a bit, but not much. 20% or so across the board. And in the case of cryptos, that's child's play. And move that down. So 38.59, let's set 50.56. But it didn't quite go that high. Now it's at 39, which is close. Back to 46. You're going many days without trading. That's part of this game. Very common part. In fact, you can still see the bottom part here. But how many days has it been since that ratio? This was day number 80. And the prices were 5.55 and 12. Prices are pretty much the same, day number 114. So it's been 34 days. You would have went over one calendar month in actual time. And your price ratio is right where it was before at this point. Not much has changed in the market. 37, there's a break. Okay. So now this has fallen to 358. Now you ask yourself the question, what's my buying strategy against Bitcoin against this? Because, yeah, this is going down, but 960, it's up from the start. Where were you in history? Where does 358 surface on the history edge of this game? And I'm just... Okay, see, never mind, I went to the wrong section. Okay, where do we see... Well, we're going to put 1 in here for now. 358 is not new lows. I'd probably be wanting to buy this breaking down. Maybe if it goes back to 200. But even lower than that. As far as the trade, let's go back to the worksheet. Because what happened was I was trying to go to one page and well, I went to this part. Here's okay. So the ratios in store to trade. We pretty much got the exact price, so a 20% move does seem sufficient for me. And how many XCM can we sell? Like 2,800 is 20%. It's not much compared to the last one. So be it. You get big moves, you get small moves. And I like to take advantage of the big moves when I can get them. But the price at 358 is very tempting to say, you know what, that's really good. That's not quite 3 times. So something in the area of like over 7,000 should work. Yes, over 7. So it's still a decent enough pickup. Probably get even close to 75. We will. Exact numbers on the two. So both say 2681. And we'll do one more trade. Let's take a look at where we stand on the wallet right now. Now only up to $78, so up less than 100%. Bitcoin price is down to 58.2. So 0.30 on the Bitcoin. We add these two numbers, or that would be, or these three added together. That's about 30 or so percent gain. And let's do the final trade for this episode. And we're looking for a break below 30 or above 46. That's not below 30, that's at 30. That's below 30. So it was a 2 day later. 120 days are through. So we're 8% through the trading days on this. As there's noticeably more than 1,000, or a bit more than that. And another down move. So this market has went up a bit. This has went down even more. And so it's not down to 200, so I don't want to buy much more of it. But I will make another trade. It's pretty much a min trade of 20%, maybe a small hair above it, which would be 2,300 to small hair because 22% is like 22 and small change for that. So we'll do 23, which is lower than the 28. That's fine. And 23.31 is what we're trying to pick up. And the differential price not quite 4 times higher, so not quite 4 times more than 23. 4 times 2,300. Well, 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12, so that'd be 9,200. And a little bit less than that, well, let's see what 8,500 does. Okay, that's a little too high. 8,300. That's still noticeably too high. 81. That's very, very close, but you're still selling for maybe a little too much. Maybe you can pick up like 30 more. Or wait a second. 81. So I'm giving up 23.39. I don't need to give up that many. 23.42. Let's just do 81. So after day number 120, the wallet stands with $63.25 gain and 0.1. Look for tomorrow to have part number 3 along a historical 3-year journey. Bye-bye.